I never thought my girlfriend would force me into a situation like this. There I was, standing in front of a full-length mirror, staring at someone I barely recognized. Myself, but not myself. Long, flowing hair extensions cascaded down my shoulders. A tight-fitting dress hugged my figure, and makeup that I had never worn before accentuated my face. I was a guy, but tonight, I was a girl, and I was about to be my girlfriend's date to a party, dressed this way. How did I get into this mess? That's a question I've been asking myself ever since my girlfriend, Emma, came up with this wild plan. It all started with what seemed like an innocent enough suggestion, but as I look back now, I realize that maybe it was all a part of a bigger plan she had in mind from the start. Let me take you back to the beginning. Emma and I had been dating for about a year. She was everything I could have asked for: funny, smart, and incredibly beautiful. The only thing that made me nervous was her ability to be a little unpredictable. She was full of surprises, and while I liked that about her, I never imagined she'd take things this far. It all began when Emma's best friend, Laura, threw a party that she said was going to be one for the books. Emma was ecstatic about it, telling me that this party was exclusive, high-class, and themed. The catch: it was a swap-your-style party. Everyone had to dress up as their opposite, guys as girls, girls as guys. I thought she was joking at first. Surely, she didn't mean that I had to do that, right? Wrong. No way, I said, shaking my head as soon as Emma suggested I dress as a girl for the party. I'm not wearing a dress. That's not happening. Emma smiled, that mischievous smile of hers, the one that meant she had already made up her mind. Come on, it's going to be fun. Everyone's doing it. And besides, I think you'll look cute. I could feel the panic rising. Cute? Emma, I'm a guy. Guys don't wear dresses to parties. She leaned in closer, her voice soft but firm. That's exactly why it'll be so fun. Just think of it as a game. You'll be my date, but as a girl. It'll be a memory we can laugh about later. I could see the excitement in her eyes, and as much as I wanted to put my foot down and say no, I found myself caving. Emma always had a way of convincing me to go along with her ideas. I didn't want to disappoint her, and besides, how bad could it really be? The next thing I knew, I was in Emma's bedroom, surrounded by clothes, makeup, and accessories. She had a determined look on her face, as if this were some sort of grand makeover project. Sit down, she instructed, pointing to the chair in front of her vanity. We're going to make you look fabulous. I hesitated but eventually sat down, feeling completely out of my element. Emma worked quickly, brushing foundation across my face, contouring my cheekbones and applying mascara to my lashes. I had no idea makeup involved so many steps. Every time I tried to ask what she was doing, she'd shush me, saying, "Trust the process." Then came the clothes. Emma rummaged through her closet, pulling out dresses and skirts, holding them up to my body as if I were some sort of mannequin. She finally settled on a sleek, black dress that was tighter than I'd have liked. She handed it to me with a grin. Go on, try it on. I stared at the dress, feeling my face flush. I don't even know how to put this on. Emma rolled her eyes. You'll figure it out. Just zip it up in the back. After struggling for what felt like an eternity, I finally managed to get the dress on. It clung to me in ways that were both uncomfortable and unfamiliar. I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back at me. The guy who used to play football with his friends on weekends. Gone. In his place was a version of me that looked ready for a night out. As a girl, Emma stood behind me, admiring her work. You look amazing, she said with a proud smile. I knew this would work. I look ridiculous, I muttered, tugging at the hem of the dress. What if someone recognizes me? Emma laughed. That's the whole point of the party. No one will recognize anyone. Just relax and enjoy it. It's not every day you get to step into someone else's shoes, literally. Despite my reservations, there was a part of me that was curious about how the night would go. Would people at the party laugh at me? Would I end up being the butt of some big joke? Or would this actually be fun? The uncertainty was enough to keep me on edge. When we arrived at the party, my heart was pounding in my chest. I felt every eye turn in our direction as we walked through the door. The room was filled with people, most of whom were also dressed up in the opposite gender's clothes. But somehow, that didn't make me feel any less self-conscious. "Relax," Emma whispered, sensing my nerves. "You're doing great." I tried to follow her lead, forcing a smile as we mingled with her friends. Laura, the party host, was dressed in a sharp suit, and she didn't waste a second teasing me. "Wow, look at you. I never thought I'd see the day. You actually pull off that dress better than most girls I know." I laughed awkwardly, unsure of how to respond. Was that supposed to be a compliment? I didn't feel like I was pulling off anything. I felt like an imposter, playing a role I wasn't meant to play. As the night went on, something strange started to happen. At first, I was hyper-aware of everything: how the dress felt, the way the heels pinched my feet, the way people looked at me. But after a while, I started to loosen up. The music was good, and the atmosphere was lighthearted. People were having fun, and to my surprise, I started to enjoy myself. Emma stayed close by, occasionally complimenting me on how well I was handling everything. And slowly, the anxiety began to fade. Maybe it wasn't so bad after all. That's when the unexpected happened. Out of nowhere, Emma pulled me aside, her face suddenly serious. "There's something I didn't tell you," she said, biting her lip nervously. My heart sank. "What do you mean?" She took a deep breath. "I didn't just want you to come to the party dressed like this for fun. I wanted to see how you'd react to being different. And honestly, I kind of like it." My eyes widened. "Wait, what are you saying?" Emma smiled shyly. "What if we did this more often? Not just for parties, but, for us? I like the idea of you embracing this side of yourself." I stood there, stunned. This was not what I had expected when I agreed to go along with her plan. The party was one thing, but this? I didn't know how to respond. In the end, we didn't leave the party with everything resolved. Emma's proposal left me with a lot to think about. Could I really go along with her idea? Could I embrace something that felt so foreign to me? As we left the party that night, hand in hand, I realized that this was just the beginning of a new chapter in our relationship, one that would test my boundaries in ways I never imagined. But one thing was certain: that night changed everything. And I wasn't sure what came next.